Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joel Duggan and this is a different time than I normally stream. It is around 7 o'clock in the evening for me. Normally I stream in the afternoons, but I had some stuff to take care of today. So we are doing this now, and this is Satisfactory. We were working yesterday on the crystal oscillators, moving towards turbo motors, and we got it all done. We have everything hooked up. We are currently making 10 crystal oscillators a minute. And now we have to look to the radio control units. And the bottleneck there is going to be computers, because while we are making computers for storage, we're not making enough for a production line. So I might have to get more plastic. We may have to look at recycled plastic. It could be an entirely different project. I don't really know how that's going to go. I don't have enough plastic at the other facilities, I don't think, to bring it back here. So that is where we're at. Salty Sandworm, hello, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. I did hear through the grapevine that my co-host Johnny has gone to see a Minecraft movie, so we will be talking about that even more on the next episode of the Spawn Chunks. There's a new episode out right now with a spoiler-free review, but now that Johnny and I have both seen it, and it'll be out for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, by the time that we record next time, we'll be able to go through and talk about the details, our favorite parts, fun moments, cameos, that kind of stuff. So look forward to that at thespawnchunks.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts. And then tomorrow night, we're recording the Citadel Cafe. That's going to be myself and Steven ESC. We will probably touch on a Minecraft movie. We went to go see it together. But we're probably going to be talking mostly about Daredevil Born Again, which is now 6 or 7 episodes into this season. So should be a good conversation there as well. That's going to happen live in my Discord. So if you're a member there, you can listen to Steven and I record the podcast live tomorrow evening. So in the meantime, let's pop into Satisfactory and see what's going on. So right now, we've got these 10 manufacturers making crystal oscillators. They are currently being spat out and ground to dust in the awesome sink over here. But you can see them coming all along here. Eventually, we want to send them in 2 different directions. I think we're going to use this yellow section here that I have painted as a trench to send stuff to and from the main bus. So we've got a couple of elevators going up here and there. I might actually want to put a personal elevator up in here too. I think that would be kind of cool. And then we also have to think about where we're going to put the radio control units. So if I pop open my modeler, which I should have here. Yes. So right now we are working towards the turbo motors, which is part of the thermal propulsion unit. We have everything else. We are just waiting on the turbo motors. The turbo motors, we have everything except for the radio control units. And the radio control units, we have everything except for the computers. So I'm going to backtrack through here. Oops, didn't mean to move that. So cable, we can make more cable. That's not a problem. We already sorted that last time. We might even just increase the production of cable there. But plastic for circuit boards, and then plastic again for computers. The only thing that I was thinking that might be interesting would be to maybe look at like an alternate recipe for computers that might use less plastic. So computers, they're still going to need circuit boards, but that's a lot less. So crystal computer, Caterium computer, that's a lot less circuit boards than this. That's a lot of plastic. It's not very much plastic. How many computers do I need? I need 8 per minute. 2.5 computers. So 8 per minute. That would mean I'd only need to make 4 to 3 assemblers. I'd only need 15 circuit boards a minute. We can make circuit boards without plastic. Interesting. Copper sheet and silica. I wonder if we should do that. That would reduce the number of crystal oscillators we're making, though. I do have the alt recipe for plastic, yes. I'm pretty sure, actually. I should check that before I get in the weeds here. The Caterium computer recipe is nice. Sean J. Dub, hello. Been a minute. Hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. I don't have the recycled plastic and rubber. I should also check just to see if I have the alternate for the circuit boards too. Yeah, I've got the 2 alternate for the circuit boards. So I have recycled rubber available to me. Alternate radio control. I don't have recycled plastic. But I do have recycled rubber. I'll grab that one. One rescan remaining. Deuterium wire. Molded steel pipe. I'm going to rescan just to see. We didn't get it. That's too bad. Worth a shot. So I don't know if I'm going to go and make a giant factory, because like I ran the numbers. I found a pattern online, like a message thing online, post rather, for diluted plastic and rubber, and you get an absolute ton. You have to kind of recycle the rubber into itself, but you end up with nearly 2,000 of each. But if I produce that on a site somewhere, then I'm going to have to bring it all back via train, and I don't know that I have the room to do that. Nor do I know if I need this much plastic and rubber. I don't know if I do. I don't think I do. MindTripMedia, thanks for the 100 bits. I really appreciate it. Always good to see you. I mean, I can do this at a smaller scale. I don't have to do it this big. But when you have the nodes available to you, right? So, alternatively, I need to get like 200 plus plastic from somewhere, which I could just make normally. I could just make a regular plastic plant, but that would be temporary. And if I keep on doing temporary solutions, we're just going to have to keep redoing things. So I guess the first problem is where are we going to put the manufacturers? And you can sort of see how I was planning out this section here. I feel like this is probably going to be a wall. I kind of like the idea of this being wider. So maybe the next room will have to be in here. I also want to think about how we're going to kind of close this off to make this feel solid. I feel like we might have to bring this out a bit. Yeah, there's definitely some room for some different shapes in his shoulder. I feel like that could kind of come up a bit and be a bit more boxy. Probably have something come out around here. I feel like that should still be maybe one of the thicker parts. We might even want to move that over just so that it doesn't impact this too much. So that would probably bring that all the way down. Yeah, I feel like maybe some angles in there. Maybe that's a little high. Yeah. So some sort of structure like that to start to change the height of the building. We also had this going on here. I think that looks okay. The modeler up as an overlay? No, that's a stream thing. That's an OBS thing. I'm capturing the modeler and putting it up on screen with a key on my my stream deck. When I switch over to it, you can hear the audio cut out because I'm opening it up on another screen. Like I can pop it up, but like in order for me to move around and do something in it, I've got to switch over. I got to tab over to it. You could probably get it as an overlay as like a mod or something. That would make sense. I am now just cluing in skins. Huh. So that's about where I would want, I think, this building to be. So that lines up with that. So this whole thing could be its own building, and I don't think I'm going to need that. So I'd probably use this as a buffer space, and then this would be about where we want to put things. I guess we could just leave it at the same height. That would make sense. So one thing I was thinking about was doing all of the refining of the plastic and rubber here. We've got the space, I think. I would just have to bring all the plastic here, or all the oil here on a train. And that wouldn't be a lot. That's only, what is it? 1350. That's not a ton. So the oil that I was planning on using is actually just up there, because that's the closest oil for us. All this oil down here is already being used for power. So we've got oil, where is it? Right here. So that oil up there is probably the closest, and there's a train here, so we could add a train and bring it back. And that way we're not building a giant factory up here, we would just be building the oil to bring it back to Devastator. Similar to how we do the nitrogen. Then we just have to package and unpackage it. But I'm just not quite sure if we want to, like, because the oil factory, it's like 36 blenders and it gets a lot. So it would kind of take up a whole thing here. And as of right now, all of the stuff we have coming in kind of flows into the factory this way. We don't have a lot of stuff coming in and being produced back here. So I'd have to set up maybe like another main bus or something. Be tricky. And I have not really sorted that part out. Needing more computers that I'm currently producing is a pain. Because I'm using, I think, out of the 200 plastic at Megatron, I think I'm using 160 of it. Pretty sure I mapped that out in the modeler. Wheeljack, Megatron, Sunstreaker. Yeah, so if I go into Sunstreaker, yeah, 200 plastic comes in, and I've only got 40 going out. So there's only 40 plastic at Sunstreaker left over. And if I bring that into here, I still have to come up with basically 256 if I use these old recipes. Crystal computer, Caterium computer. I could do the Caterium computer too, but I still have to come up with circuit boards. Like I still need plastic. I'm like, I might as well have no plastic. So I'll have to figure out a way to move them. And now that this is here, we could probably add another floor. So like I could have the radio control units being done here because I only need to make 4 manufacturers. So we could put them here. I think. Hold on. I'm trying not to make like boxes, but sometimes you need to just get stuff done. Oh. And I don't know what I would need all that space for assemblers. I guess for circuit boards if I was going to make them. I could also automate a bunch of other things. Yeah, AI limiters, we're not doing those yet either. Could do alternate silica. Pressure conversion cube, we're not doing those either. That's a tempting circuit board. Ports. I could probably do that. So that eliminates plastic. If we did that and the crystal computer, that, you know, that could work. That could work. What does that look like? We put this up. Sorry, I was flipping through the screens. Let's change this to... Oh, I'm going to have to delete this. Crystal computer, so I can delete that. Oh, I still have some leftover crystal oscillators. And that's made in an assembler. So I don't need the manufacturer for that. Interesting. And then if I change this to silicone circuit board, that can just come from the main bus, and that can just come from regular silica. And I don't need very much. I would need another priority splitter in here though. You know, that's probably what we're going to do because we have the sheets. We just have to make the silica. And the silica could be made downstairs. 8 computers. 12 circuit boards. You know what? Decision made. Let's do it. So I need to do 3 assemblers for computers and 1 for circuit boards. feel like we can probably just fit those all up here.
You are currently 74% more efficient than your peers.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to be 74 more efficient than anyone. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not sure whether to set this up as its own thing. Because that would be the computer's done. And then we can bring everything up through here. Yeah. I think that'll work. So then it's just a matter of making it look nice. And we should probably plan something decent thick for a wall. And I guess that would be double-sided. And then this is going to be, I think, an area that's enclosed. At least for the first couple spots. That just seems like a lot of space. I don't know if we necessarily need that. I feel like we could just add more assemblers as we need them. We could just also make more computers than I currently need. Are there other things that we need computers for later? Adaptive control unit, we're not making those anymore. Supercomputers. 7.5 per minute. So we want at least 7.5 more than what we're currently making. And we need 8. I feel like we should make 16. So what I normally do in this situation is I put in a priority splitter, put that back, put that there. 8 goes to there, and then the computer's going that way. I don't know why. All right, that should only do what it wants. There we go. Okay. So 8 and 4. 3 1/3 computers. So if I wanted to increase this to 15, that doesn't have the effect they'd expect it to. I think I would just build 4 machines. That's going to take a lot of crystal oscillators, though. I don't know if we're making that many. We're only making... Yeah, I'm only making 10. And this would take all 6. If I make 12... I'd have 2 left over. I did the 8. That's the only thing about this game I find is that there's just that domino effect that makes you second guess your decisions. Shabbily Gaming, hello, welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. Welcome back. I could just add some power shards to these and make more, but that's gonna cause some problems with our pipelines. All the stuff that's currently going up in there. I guess one thing I should do, I should just see if I've got enough space over here to actually do the plastic and the rubber. I feel like I probably do. It's 45 refineries. There's 5. So like that times 8 down here would be very doable. And we would probably have plastic and rubber for days. We would potentially be able to bring it in this train station. The problem with this train station right now is that it's not very expandable. At least the way that they are now. If I put them farther down, it's expandable. Did I enjoy the Minecraft movie? It was okay. I did a spoiler-free review of my thoughts on Spawn Chunks, but suffice to say, it's not written for me. Like, it's written for families and written for 10-year-olds. So, but even then, I think they could have done better with the script. I think it was very patchy, very cobbled together, but the visuals were really cool. Like the piglins, the nether, the overworld, the sheep, the villagers, like all the animated stuff was really cool. I think they should have done an animated movie. I think they could have gotten away with a CG animated movie from start to finish. Yeah. I'm not a huge Jack Black fan either, so that also contributes. But overall, like, it was still a good experience as a Minecraft fan, and I can see how a lot of other people would really like it, especially younger people. The unfortunate thing, which I have talked about on the stream before when I won't get into the details now, is that my theater experience, so not the movie, but like the crowd, was horrendous. There was a bunch of teens and other people screaming, throwing food, throwing drink containers. So it really made it a not good experience overall. You know, it's probably worth it just to... How many summer sloops do I have? Just 5. I feel like it's kind of a waste to put some in here. We could use the power shard situation on a couple of these. That would also increase the... We have some wiggle room. I would have to also increase the cable production over here. We don't have a lot of space for that. A little bit, not a lot. I don't know that I knew that those slugs made that noise. It's neat that they leave a little yellow mark now. They never used to do that. You've heard a lot of people have had that experience in the theater. It is a shame. Johnny did not. Johnny did not have a bad experience in the theater. He agreed with me in terms of the script and stuff, but I think he still had a good time. You were all going to be able to get Johnny's thoughts on Monday's show, so that'll be cool. Grandpa, new with update. Yes, we are on 404.994. That came out today. Mostly bug fixes. No new features, just bug fixes. Should make things a lot easier for a lot of people. So I guess the only bottleneck I have here is the cable. I could probably fix that. Okay, let's do... Rather than just bopping around here, let's do 10 computers. They only do 3 per. We should just do 5 of them. Yeah, so we underclock them, do 5 machines. And that's going to need what? 4.5 times 5 is 22.5. Circuit boards? And circuit boards we should probably have like an overflow of in case we need those for anything else too. We will need them for high-speed connectors. And I think high-speed connectors are part of the AI limiters. No, they're part of supercomputers. Yeah, it's not the circuit board alt that I'm too worried about. It's the cable. Okay. So how many of those should we make? Circuit boards. Needs 3.5 per minute. I tend to do this and like quickly shoot ahead to see. Three and a half, 5.5. So another 5. We should probably do something like 30. High-speed connectors. Not high-speed connectors, sorry. Circuit boards. $12 per minute. So if we do 3 of those, that's 36. So we could do 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why I have this arbitrarily split up like this. So we're going to have 3 machines. That was not lined up. That we can maybe have a lane here. So this is circuit boards. Could probably turn those around. And this will be computers. I really wish the machines would balance out a little bit better in terms of how they line up on foundations. So that's going to be a wall. So the path won't go all the way around. That's probably why I had that there. If I reverse that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That still doesn't work. So this should probably be covered. Oh, that's not going to work for symmetry, so I guess we have to do just a wall here. And then we can go back out again. We've got lots of space. See, I'm just trying to figure out what this building is actually going to look like. I guess I could come out past this, couldn't I? Yeah, that's not bad. Oh, the slug stuff. Yeah, the slug stuff is new with the update. You're right. Some of this will probably be windows. Yeah, so I don't think I need to worry about arbitrary stuff. Like this, I think we should probably be able to get rid of this. No problem. That opens up this room nicely. This just feels like a lot of wasted space. So we're going to have to do something in here. Somewhere I'd like to fit, like I said, a personal elevator, but this line here really is in the way. Not that we can't move it. But we've got those there. Yeah, I really feel like somewhere's around here it would be nice to squeeze in an elevator. Like probably right here. Actually, let's just maybe make one of these. Elevator goes there, maybe. We'll just clear out some of the stuff that's down here that's in the way. Movable. Not impossible. It's too bad we can't have an elevator that opens on two sides. I talked about this last time. I really want the elevator shaft to be able to go up to a flat top. So how cool would it be if like this hologram is your elevator and it was able to come up through a shaft and like arrive like this, just flush, rather than having like the whole glass thing around it at the top? I think that would be really cool. And you can have the glass thing if you want, like you just build one, right? But I think that would work. All right, this is not so many assemblers that I think we have to do a crazy blueprint. We can probably do at least fix the ones that we had before. They're all going to face the same way, so that's going to be a lot easier. I guess I need to figure out where my copper sheets are and how many I'm making. And how many I'm using. What's not realistic though? An elevator platform? I think that's perfectly realistic. It's a sci-fi game. We should probably find out like this. It should be 400, I think. 7.5. Oh, why are these all? Yeah, 7.5 times 20. Only 150. Oh, plus the ones up top. So 150 plus 150. 300? I think we're making 300. Did they fix the bug where you can't go through the holes? No. Looks like 300 is the correct answer. Okay. How many am I making with cooling device? Is it cooling device? Heatsink, copper sheets. Only 100. Okay, so I've got copper sheets to spare. So the copper sheets can come there. We will turn some of this quartz into silica, probably back here. And just take that up over that way. And it's not really much. It's only like one constructor. Let's do a little bit of labeling. We've got green for circuit boards, silica circuit boards, 27.5. $82.5. I feel like we could dial this down to a more round number too. That's a little bit easier to deal with. We're making 30 circuit boards. And we're only going to need 4.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 24 or something like that, right? 22. If I increase that to 4, then that might work better. I always forget the math on finding the common denominator here to get like good numbers here. But 10 out seems like a good number to control. I could just do 2 bays of 5. Have lots of circuit boards to spare. How do I get this down to 20? 9? Yeah. So 10 is probably the easier way to go. So we could just do 50 circuit boards. That does not need to be all turned into computers. We could use that for other stuff. So I could just do 2 bays of 5. I feel like that one's off now. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that works. And maybe we could utilize this space to show off the stuff that's happening. So maybe we could have a belt or two here. Right? Could have the stuff running along here some way. Sort of like what we did downstairs. See in here we've got everything moving along on the sides. Could do something like that up here. Could have all this stuff coming in. I do like little visuals like that. That's kind of fun. Especially if that's covered over. Okay, so we are going to have copper sheets and silica coming up. They're going to come up in this space here. Obviously they can't come in there, so we'll just utilize one of these spaces. I'm definitely going to move that track. So that'll be easy to get everything in there. I guess we could maybe turn them around. Sugar Untamed, hello, welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. Yeah. All right, I need to take a short break. I've been going at this for a while. We had a nighttime where I didn't get to step away. So I will do that. Normally we try to take these at nighttime, but it's also roughly an hour depending on what's going on, but it's been about that now. So I'm going to jump on the break train. There should be a new command now in the break train. When you hit T, it hides the UI. That's nice and clean. So you get to ride the break train. You'll get to see some of the world. I'm going to go grab another cup of coffee and I will be right back. Alright, I know these early setup streams can be a little bit slow while we're sorting things out, but I think I have a pretty good handle on it. And if we go and figure out where things are going to come in, then we should be pretty good. We'll have to section off some of the quartz production for silica. That seems like an okay sacrifice to make. I don't think we have to make too much. 110 or something? So now you can press T, I think, when in a vehicle to hide the UI. Is there an... I don't know if there's a button to hide the UI in the game now. Like when you're on foot. You know, it would be a really good idea to leave this space here that I was talking about, this two-panel space. It's kind of fun to leave that blank for elevators and turbo lifts. All right, so we know we've got the copper sheets. That's fine. 22. So 110. So we've got the quartz production happening way down below us. So it's actually a really smart place to do all of this. That's aluminum. Here's all the quartz. So if I grab this, and we're going to make silica, we only need to commandeer like 4 machines at most. So that's great. That doesn't affect too much of our quartz. I don't think there's a lot of silica things that we need silica for. I'd like to try to look ahead sometimes. I'm doing a different scrap recipe. Any kind of uranium stuff we're not doing on this site. High-speed connectors is an alternate recipe. I will probably not use that recipe, although it's a lot less quick wire. So we can always expand and contract the silica and quartz production in here. So let's just quickly grab purple. 1, 2, 3. Let's do from here down. That's going to stay quartz. And if we turned all this into silica, I want to try and keep the consumption the same. So it's 35 per minute, 21 per minute. So we might want to, well, no, that's going to go up high. So 35 per minute. What if I bring this all the way up to the top? 22.5. So if I replace 1, 2, 3, 4, we just have to spread that out along here. All right, well, that's doable then. Easily bring that up over here. Copper oh, that's more copper sheets. Oh, wait a minute. Do we have enough copper sheets for both? 22 per minute. And then this... Oh, no, that's circuit boards. Right. These are the wrong recipe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 7.5. Out of our 10. So we'd have to increase the production of these, or we could drop these down, and instead of producing 15 computers, just do 10. That's all of our crystal oscillators taken care of, though. I feel like 15 is probably better. All right, well, let's at least start bringing stuff up. And I guess the exports will have to wind around. I feel like some of these should be pointing the other way. Got lots of space. We won't need that much, actually. Although, fair enough. We could still just do it on the ceiling. It's hard sometimes when you're trying to puzzle through stuff visually, but then you haven't actually run the belts yet. So all that stuff is coming from over there. I guess we could turn the computers around. So it might make sense to have this go this way. And the output for that would go into that. And then the output for this would go down there. We could probably use this lane. It's kind of like a input-output lane. Excuse me. So the circuit boards will be coming out here, under here. Some of them would come this way and go down to the main bus, and then the rest of them would go into the computers. Or we just have them flip around. I kind of like the idea of having everything face the same way. I almost want to jam them up against each other rather than having them spaced out like that, just so there's more room on the walkway. What do I have for blueprints? For assemblers. Frames, right. East industrial beams. I don't know if I want to go... Maybe we only need to go like 2 spaces. These guys. I also really like what I did at the other spot for circuit board decoration. Do I want to start fresh or... Right, that has like the whole design on it. Right, okay. What about... The stators and rotors are going to have the stuff. Modular frames. Oh, those are up. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Alright, we'll just build new. So let's grab ourselves a little bit of height. Now, I'm pretty sure I have these centered on 2. No, I've got them on 3 foundations, don't I? So we'll do asphalt for these. I guess the tricky part here is going to be figuring out where the stuff is coming in from, but we can do the top part of the design anyway. So that's all done. I guess, do I want to go higher? We do have lots of space. So everything is in the building facing this way. We've got parts coming up this way. Those are going to be going down and around. I'm going to bring the parts up and around, I guess. Yeah, I guess I could have them just facing, loading from this direction. We'll do one and see what we can come up with. So these will end up being kind of like on the ceiling. Which will get them up out of the way of the other stuff we have to move around. And then same thing here. We can just have this on the inside here. That needs to be a merger. No, it was 10? Yeah. Mark 1 lifts. And then we've got silica and copper. So let's go with silica in this one. Copper in that one. This is going to be the circuit boards. And then we just have to tag on the little cover the power thingy. I always forget about the power. Right, just that. So that hides the wire. And then maybe we can just paint that green. Depending on the position, sometimes it's a little bit tricky. Green, or do we paint it dark like the machine? I wonder if we could do something a little bit different here. I think you'd end up seeing the wire through this. Yeah, you would. Plus, it doesn't look that good. I'm just wondering if we can do something a little bit different at the bottom here to make it look a little bit nicer. Either way, that's the electrical. We'll connect them all up later. And then this, I'll probably just do that custom if I need to change it later. Oh, do I want to include the actual foundations? And maybe I don't. Yeah, if I want to move these later, I think it's best not to have that. So that's just a straightforward blueprint. Call it I guess south. It's also doing alts, right? Alt. Assembler with subfloor making... Oh, I don't remember the name of it. Silica circuit boards, I think. We're going to change the color and stuff after. Very late stream. Yes, it is. Yeah, I had some stuff to do this afternoon. So I went to the gym early and then decided to stream after dinner. How you doing? Good to see you, big head face. Save. So again, we'll mess with this in a second. I just want to put one in there so I can see what's up. The Northern Lights is really cool. Yes, I'm thinking we center this. So let's just grab this concrete. So if we put that in the middle here without this, we'll probably have to go down by a block. Right, so we placing it on the base, but if we lock it and nudge it, that's exactly where it should be on this level. And then as far as the back and forth goes, that looks about right. So we would have another 2 of those lined up. The nice thing about doing it this way is that if I decide to delete all this, it's going to take like no time at all. Now why is that off center? There we go. So that should give me just like a little bit. Oh. I thought that was going to give me more room over here. I guess not. So it still goes all the way up. Oh, you know what? We could move them closer. I bet you that I was up against the... Yeah, that's what I was wanting to do. So I could do that. Go up against this one, lock it, and then nudge in that way. That gives us a little bit more space. I forgot that I made the blueprint just a smidge wider than the actual machine by adding in the power cover. So that's centered in a 6x3 block space with some wiggle room. So what we could do here is actually, I mean, we could keep the floor if we wanted to, but we don't need to have it. Maybe I'll just leave some of it just to pull down to the next section. So then all this stuff is on the roof, and now we only have to think about how stuff is getting up and down. So this is going to need copper sheets. Let's bring those in. And I guess I'll have to move this too. We're going to snake you right behind here. Get it over to here. And we should be able to get that in there. I mean, it's a little tricky. Oh, straight build mode to the rescue. And this has to go into that. I could just turn that sideways, I think. Yeah. This was all done so long ago. Before a lot of the build modes and abilities that we have now. I'm going to change it all the way back here. So zip it in there. It's a Mark III. Let's go from there to there. Oh yeah, I know about vertical nudge. Probably just old habits die hard, you know? Alright, so that should free up this space. I don't think we're going to do anything along that way because I think there's... Yeah, there's stuff there. This is probably a good spot for... Oh, it's going to be the same place. Okay. The silica will not be coming up here, just copper. I'm probably going to run it along here, you know? That, or I guess we could... Yeah, I want to try to keep it clear if I can. So we'll run it there. Copper is going to there, so we'll keep it on the left lane. Makes sense to me. So probably here. That. And I guess, yeah, I'm going to keep it low. And then we'll bring it up. This was 100 and something. 110. Cool. So that's where the copper's going to go. Copper sheets. And then we need to bring in silica, and we can do that. Same idea. There. And that is actually not going to come from that far away. We could probably bring that right here, actually. But that will be coming from the other direction. Going down this way. So those are all going they're animated in the wrong way. We will have to pull the silica we're making out of here. And we'll have to cut it off there. So let's do the math.
Is your math correct?
That was freaky. Wow. Ada's always listening, I guess. Wow. So we're going to do silica. Same thing. We needed to do 110. $27.5. What I should do is make something that requires 35 quartz, or a multiple of 35. I guess it doesn't really matter. That's a nicer number. So I need 4 machines doing 30 with the potential for expanding. I guess the hard part is just kind of like predicting how much silica we might need in the future. $37 a minute for high-speed connectors. High-speed connectors. That's if we do the alt recipe. An extra 60 on top of the 110. I feel like if we did a full... If we did 6 times 30, that would work. 180. We would just cut it off here and take it down. Let's stop it there and then switch all of these. And then we just do a little all of a sudden my hotkeys are not working. Save the game. Quickly save the game. Yeah, weird. Something is definitely screwy. Oh, there we go. That's working. Okay. 30 times what? 680 Mark III. Of course, the power is coming down the middle. I'm going to want to empty this into a bin for now, just so we can get rid of all the quartz. Probably going to be the easiest to just scoot it out right there. And then the rest of it can go and join up on the main line. So we'll have to have smart splitter. I'm not sure why it's snapping to the bottom like that. It's really weird. They never used to be like that. Like it's giving me... Yeah, that was strange. So that's the silica. I'd say that's all silica now, no quartz happening. Oh, so close. So it's 180 on a Mark III. Oh, wait a minute. This is going to be a Mark II. Mark II, Mark II. And this will just go all the way down there. Cool. And then now we just need the copper sheets. I should hook that up to power too. And we have to put the silica somewhere on the main bus. That's 180 minus 120. So that's only 60. I guess we'll just do this to be safe. And that's the input. Do we have a way to get out? I guess I could just go down farther. I need a place where I can access the main bus. I think it has to be back here. And then I need to know what line to put it on. Our top line rubber is not flowing, which is not great. I don't know if I've seen rubber come in for a while. I don't see the rubber train moving. Oh, there's rubber. Okay. How much rubber's coming in? 300? Something like that. This is a fairly empty line. We could probably use that. I think that's probably the best thing to do. One, two. And we've got room on both sides. That's good. Yeah, the placement of lifts right now is weird. Definitely a bug going on with that. Like if you copy a lift, it's grabbing the whole... Oh, now it's not doing it. So, guess we'll go up. Wrong way. Gonna come out this way. And I guess I could just kind of snake these around. Not perfect, but we'll get the job done. And from here, I think we're just going to pop it down. Oh, there's stuff there. Cool. So that will take the... Why is that going so slow? take the silica. Add it to this. And that's fine. We're actually going to be reducing the amount on that belt anyway. And I believe this is all getting scrapped at some point. Yep, it might be joining a heavy line right now. But it doesn't look like it's stuttering. Climbing. I don't know if we're going to hit 780. Insomnia? No, no, no. It's only 9 o'clock. You got to remember I'm in Atlantic Canada. Yeah, I had to run around and do some stuff today. So I just bumped my stream later. I mean, the highest that can go is 780. If it peaks at 780, then... Oh, we're just under. Maybe. No, that's probably full. So that's probably over full. Yeah, that's stopped now. Why is all this stopped? Oh, too much stuff. All right, what belt is that? That is the middle, second from the top. I'll update our main bus. Copper sheets. We set our clocks by you normally. That's good to know, Dad from Bear. Yeah, so this seems to be slowing down a bit. So we need to pull copper sheets probably in the same area and bring copper sheets up. So it would make sense to pull the copper sheets before we add the silica, because otherwise this is still going to be a bottleneck. So let's see where we can pull this from. I'd say we can probably bring it in. Oh, maybe I should have done this the other way around. This is becoming convoluted. We can crisscross it over here. And get it down that way. I guess we could bring it along here. I do want to keep that area clear. To go up and check to see. I think it was 22. I think it was 110 on the copper sheets as well. Yeah. So I'm going to bring that along here. the cleaner thing to do would be to have this go higher. But wow, I can't believe we can make them that steep. It's pretty funny. That is surprising. Oh, that's why. Okay, hold on. It's not letting us do that, actually. Is that too close? What's going on there? Why are you not? That's so weird. Why is that screwing up like that? All right, that's better. So we're trying to get it to there. Probably the easiest thing is just to go... I want to go into the lane, I guess. I've been trying to avoid crossing it. And we're at a higher level. Okay, so then we'll just have to connect this up over here. Okay, that gets all the way down there. This is a lot messier than I was really hoping that this area was going to be, but kind of running out of room and options all at the same time. So that is just going to be, obviously, it would have been too much for me to actually line this up. That would have been convenient. Alas, I did not. To fix that. Left is going to be copper sheets. And you know what? For now, let's just get these out of here. Copper sheets coming in at 120, but with overflow, that's 120. Mark II, Mark II, Mark II all the way along. Be nice if we could actually finish up the circuit boards today. Mark II. Leaving this hole in the middle of the factory, this trench that I keep on referring to, was a really good idea. I just wish I had not put the garbage chute where I put it, because it tends to get in the way. And now we need power. Power looks like it's coming up from down there. So let's pull it from there as well. I'll put the floor in at the last minute just because it's so much easier to work down here with daylight. Just waiting for copper sheets. They're rolling up now. And then we just have to worry about the export. And we are making 50. And this is going to go into a stream over this way. For now, I can probably just hook this up to one of these. Is that a smart splitter? No. Where's a good output? There's an output. Let's just put a merger on that. So this is just going to sync the circuit boards for now, just to kind of keep the production flowing. So that the machines don't get backed up and have problems. While we go make the adjustments to that assembler and make it into a computer assembler. So I guess we could go bright orange or yellow for now. We can always change that later. Output's going to be a computer. Input. Select recipe. Circuit board and crystal oscillator. through the circuit boards back here. That stays yellow. I'm doing 3. Power stays the same, everything else stays the same. Let me just save it as, oops, computer alt, making Bristol computers, I think. Color's a little bit bright. Those are going to be facing the wrong way. So I'll fix that. Now this exporting computers, I don't really know. I guess we'll switch this back this way. Maybe I should make the computers orange, just so that they're different underneath. Right, save that again. I always forget that this stuff builds up. Man, the size of this place. Really getting up there. We wanted to have these do something cool, didn't we? I may want to rearrange that line. I think the only thing that's going to be made here is computers for show. I may not do that. So that's the computers in. We can use the same power. Man, even for such a small little factory like this floor, I feel like the blueprints, they just save you so much time. Now, why? I don't understand why those are in a different position. Unless I've moved these the wrong way. Oh yeah, they're not lined up. Okay. Let's do it this way. Seeing as we have infinite nudge now. Again, you know, it's like the old habits are just hard to break sometimes. Now this should line up with the power, I think. Yes. Am I playing vanilla? No mods. This is vanilla Satisfactory, yeah. My modded experience, or my quality of life modded experience, I guess, happens on Minecraft. No, I tend to keep this pretty straightforward. I don't feel like there's the mods that I've seen, I think that I would use are the ones that tend to like benefit YouTube content creators, like folks that want like, I don't know, certain camera controls and stuff like that. Although they've given a lot with the new camera. Uh-oh. Well, the game just crashed. And I was really, really close to wrapping things up anyway. So I don't know how much work I just lost. So we are going to call it there. Let me just see if there's somebody else playing Satisfactory we can bounce you all along to. Not much. Lots of Minecraft going on. Anybody have a favorite streamer you'd like me to pass you along to? Someone named Julie Pixels is playing Oxygen Not Included. That's similar to Satisfactory. Let me just see what they're up to. Yeah, I feel like this would be a good raid. There might be some adult language warning, but like, hey, it's nearly 10 o'clock at night. I think that's pretty normal. I'm going to send you along to Julie Pixels playing Oxygen Not Included. Thanks for hanging out tonight, folks. I need to run, but I'll be back again tomorrow, back at my normal time, 1 o'clock Atlantic. I'm going to try to update the Citadel tomorrow if I can, but I'm going to back up the server first, and that's been a problem. So hang out for the rest of the stream here with Julie Pixels. You can follow me on social media at Joel Duggan. Hit me up on Patreon if you want to support the stream, patreon.com/JoelDuggan, and check out the Spawn Chunks and the Citadel Cafe podcasts because they're free and they're available wherever you get your favorite podcasts. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.